I've got Tumbledown Brewery here with us. Matt is with us. And Matt, welcome to the program. Thank you so much for being here.
Problem. Good to be here.
Yeah, Matt Swan.
Yes.
All right. And so Tumbledown, I'm sure that you've seen it because it's available up in this area and many other areas. And tell us a little bit about where your brewery is and what you offer there.
Well, we're a small brewery down in Farmington, Maine, down on Farmington Falls Road. If you're headed up here to the mountain from Augusta, we're about 6 miles from the intersection of routes 2 and 27. If you're headed up through Auburn, we're about 3 miles out of town from the intersection of routes 2 and 4.
Oh, great. Now, it used to be they called them microbreweries. That's not the case anymore. It's handcrafted beers. Is that correct?
Right. I mean, there's all kinds of names getting thrown around out there. It's basically just craft beer now.
Craft beer. And you offer a great variety of craft beers, as we can see here. And these are, of course, the bottles, but you have other forms of delivery of beer, right?
I do, yes. These are just a few of the styles that I have available. I'm making about 10 beers right now. Some are available in the bottles. They're also available in what's called a growler, and we have.
What's a growler? Tell just for the
growler is a reusable glass jug. We have them in 32 and 64 ounce sizes, so 2 pints and 4 pints roughly. The great thing about a growler is you can come into the brewery, figure out what kind you want, and we'll fill it there. You can bring it home, drink it, rinse out the growler, and then bring it right back, and we'll refill the growler with same type of beer, different type of beer, whatever you'd like.
Fresh beer right out of the tap.
Fresh beer right from the tap. Reusable jugs, so we're helping the environment a little bit. You're recycling every time you refill it.
So you have a tap room. Tell us about that.
We do. It's down at the brewery. We've got a nice little bar set up, so you can come to the bar, try some samples of all the beer we have on tap. If you like one or more, you can either grab a growler or a bottle of what we have available. What
is trending as far as?
Well, our most popular beer is our flagship beer, which is the Tumbledown Red. It's a nice Irish red.
Can we try some?
Absolutely. Right.
Pardon the can opener.
It's quite all right.
That's Andy's phone ring.
Oh yeah.
So this is your popular one, but I can see we have a Dog Star Stout.
We do. We've got a smoked stout. We've got our Tula Pale Ale. We have the Tumbledown Red here, Bullhorse Black, Double Black IPA, and Dawn Patrol Coffee Porter, which is actually made with Carabasset coffee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're keeping it local.
What makes this red?
The red color is brought out from different colored malts. So we make the beer with different types of grain. We use lighter grains for lighter colored beers and darker grains that are roasted for different periods of time to bring out different colors.
This is delicious.
Thank you.
What inspired you to come up with these recipes? Are these recipes that you have created on your own?
They are all my own recipes. Basically, what I've done is I'll try a beer somewhere that I thought was very tasty and play around with the recipe, figure out something that worked for me. You can find tons of different ways to design recipes, but mostly it's just playing around with a beer until you like the way it tastes, you like the way it looks, and other people do as well.
This is great. This is awesome stuff here. Now, when you make a batch like this, how big of a batch are you making?
Currently, I'm on a 4-barrel system. A barrel is 31 gallons. So I make about 124 gallons at a time, and I'm doing that a couple times a week.
So we know we can get it at the brewery. Where else can we buy it?
Right now, I'm on tap in various bars and restaurants from Stratton down to Portland, and I'm also in multiple convenience stores with the bottles and the growlers locally, as well as in the Portland area.
Great. We got to get you a tap up here on the mountain.
Absolutely.
This is delicious. Very good stuff. Hey, we're going to take a break, drink some beer. We'll be right back with Matt from Tumbledown Brewing with more, so stay with us. Matt Swan from Tumbledown Brewing, and he is a local brewer. And what made you get into brewing? How did you learn how to do this?
Well, I read a lot of books. I surfed the internet a bunch. I initially started out really small, home brewing, making a bunch of little messes at home just because I thought it would be a really fun pastime, and started to get into it more and more and more. So got bigger and better equipment as I went along, moved out of the kitchen into the garage, made messes there. Finally got to the point where everyone was saying you really need to go commercial with this stuff, and after a year or so of looking, found a location, and now I'm making really big messes there.
Now, they have a lot of different names of the beers here, and maybe you could share a little bit of info about the different names that you have. And
Sure. Try to take things that are close to us, close to the brewery, and name some of my beers after them. Tumbledown Red, that's a fairly easy one. That's Tumbledown Mountain, great local mountain for hiking, just to hang out in.
Sure.
We've got our Tula Pale Ale, which is another popular beer, and that is named after a former trail over at Saddleback Mountain. The reason it's called that is because that beer, that actual recipe, started out as an IPA. Wasn't quite hoppy enough for myself and some customers, so we said, all right, well, let's make it a pale ale. It's a great recipe. People love it. We'll just change the name. Can
we try some?
Absolutely. Tried figuring out a name for an IPA that's not an IPA. We figured, well, the trail Artula was a trail that was never open because it was always too icy. So it's not really a trail. So name of a trail that's not really a trail, name of an IPA that's not really an IPA. There we go.
But it's hoppy.
It is. It's fairly hoppy. A little bit darker than a lot of pale ales out there.
Beautiful
but
color.
It's still a very popular beer. The Dog Star Smoked Stout is named after a good friend of mine who was the best man at our wedding. His middle name is Sirius, which is the Dog Star. The Bullhorse Black Double Black IPA is named after a local lake, Clearwater Lake, in outside of Farmington. It used to be called Bullhorse Lake because back in the days of horse-drawn log drives, a horse and an oxen went through the ice in the wintertime. So it was called Bullhorse Lake. And Dawn Patrol Coffee Porter is actually kind of named after my wife and a few of her friends. During the wintertime up at Saddleback, they would get up before sunrise and do Dawn Patrol mountain attacks on skis, skin up, ski down. So they always were fueled by coffee, so I figured that'd be a great name for a coffee porter.
And you won some points with the wife.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with
No,
that.
never.
That's good stuff. So the brewery is you have a lot available, and you're expanding. Things growing. Are you moving into different states, or do you have to stay in Maine? Or?
We don't have to stay in Maine, but I want to for now. There's extra licensing involved to move out of state. I still haven't conquered all of the customer base that I can in state.
Right.
So I want to stay in Maine for the time being. We are expanding. We just bought some new equipment to almost triple our capacity, which is great.
Yeah.
So we're able to make more beer and get it out to more markets. So I'm hoping to expand into Sugarloaf and this area a little bit more. So
We like beer up here.
Everybody likes beer. Yes, beer is good. Beer and skiing go very well together.
I think you're right. I really like this one too because this is it is, this pale ale is really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then do you make other seasonal beers, or are these the staples?
Those, I make 3 that are normally on tap, the smoked stout, the red, and the pale ale. And then I do have another tap at the brewery that is more of a rotational beer. I don't do much for seasonal winter ales or summer ales or pumpkin beers or anything like that. I just have different beers. I'll throw on the coffee porter or the double black IPA. Currently, all my taps are actually taken up with different beers that are our newer styles. We have a new pale ale out that is called the 207 Pale Ale, made with all Maine ingredients. So that's on tap right now. We also have the Imp, which is an Imperial Red.
Great.
So higher gravity, much hoppier version of our Tumbledown Red.
Tell us where your location is one more time.
Sure. We're at 805 Farmington Falls Road in Farmington, in what's called the East Side Mall.
Very good. Matt, we appreciate you being here this morning, and you
do
have
too.
some great beer. Hopefully we can get you a tap up here in Sugarloaf, because we'll certainly support you, and we appreciate you coming up, and check it out, Tumbledown Brewing, and stop by and pick yourself up a growler.